Hello everybody, it's Mr. XStitch here again. I thought I would take a few minutes to tell you my origin story. It's the question that many people ask me. A lot of the time people ask me, who are you and what are you doing in my bedroom? But a lot of other times people ask me, what got you into stitching? So I thought I'd spend a couple of minutes telling you my backstory. The year now is 2017. I've been cross-stitching for about 15 years now as an adult. The story goes I was going on holiday to Canada and I wanted something to do on a plane, and it was a long journey. Went into a haberdashery shop and I saw an Art Nouveau cross-stitch kit, sort of Alphonse Mucha head thing, and I thought that would be funny. Imagine what people will think if they see a man of my size doing cross-stitch on a plane. That'll freak them out. Now obviously this is a post 9/11 world, but the thought of freaking people out on a plane didn't seem to faze me, so I decided to buy the kit. And when I actually got to Canada and I undid the kit and I started working on it, I found out what an amazing thing cross-stitch is. You know, not only is it simple and repetitive, but it slows you down, and the repetition forces this kind of soothing feeling on you, and it's a really hard thing to explain to people, but I think anybody who's ever tried it, or indeed anybody who's ever tried any kind of making, will know that power of creativity and how good it is for you. So it didn't take long before I was kind of hooked. I did the Art Nouveau cross-stitch kit, took me a couple of years, got the colours wrong, gave it to my mum, she loves it, that's what you do. Then I did a geisha kit, I think, and then I did the Kiss by Klimt, which is 70,000 stitches, and actually I didn't finish it, it just all went a bit wrong. You know, you get lots of little elements, and when they stop fitting together, it's a bit of a kludge. Fortunately, in the end, I was able to provide that to an art project called the Unfinishables, which meant it got turned into art, which was better than the car crash that I'd left it as. But around that time, and I don't know when this was, like 2007, I discovered a piece of software called XStitch, which meant I could make my own cross-stitch patterns. And that was remarkably freeing. It just meant that I could make designs that I wanted, and create kind of anything really. So I toyed around with like superheroes, cars and stuff, and in the end one of the pieces I made first was this one. Ooh. And this is called Panica, and it's based on a piece of piece of graffiti by somebody else, and I stitched it on black canvas, loads of different colours. And it took me quite a long time to do, but I was really chuffed. I was really thrilled because it meant that I could make something that I was interested in. You know, I could make patterns that meant something to me. Spin forward to 2008 and I decided to start selling patterns on Etsy. So I had a few patterns up there, random ones and stuff. And then around the same time I decided to start a blog to accompany it, to add a bit of extra narrative to the story of what I was doing. So I launched Mr. XStitch. And started doing a few posts offering my wit and wisdom on things like why I like cucumber sandwiches. They're just nice. And the best way to arrange your clothes on an era, which is obviously to put the socks in pairs. It makes life a bit easier to get them off. But after a while I started featuring the work of other people because I was aware that there were other people out there doing interesting things, and it caught my attention and I thought I'd like to share it. And put a bit of time into understanding how you make a professional blog and having regular columns and branding and all that sort of stuff. I was able to convince other people to help me with the site by writing columns and subjects that they were interested in, and most of all, bless them, doing it for the love of it, which was amazing. But you know, to this day we still have several different columnists who write for the site on specialisms that they've got. Shout out to all of my authors. And it just kind of went from there really. I think the thing is there were a few websites at the time that were doing contemporary embroidery stuff, but because I was a guy doing it, and because I invented things like the word stitchgasm, and because we have things like Not Safe for Work Saturdays which feature rude things in embroidery, it kind of meant that I was just having a bit of a unique approach to things, I suppose. And you know, that was like nearly 10 years ago, and things kind of have taken off from there. I mean, it's taken a long time to get to where we are now, but thanks to the rise of social media, you know, I've got a very large following on Instagram, I've got reasonable followings on Facebook, Twitter, for what it's worth, Pinterest. But over time, like, the website has developed into this resource for people. You know, we've got over 4,000 posts on embroidery and needlework, and it's a great resource for people if they want to find out something. So yeah, it's been a real honour. Like, somewhere down the line I've become this kind of ambassador for the world of needlework, and only recently have I been able to take this as a full-time career, which is mind-blowing and terrifying equally. But it's a real honour for me to do it, because the world of embroidery and needlecraft is diverse and amazing and beautiful and magnificent. And if I can turn up with my tattoos and my vague sense of humour and dismantle your preconceptions about what an embroiderer is in the first place, so then we can have a meaningful conversation about what embroidery and needlework can be, then that's cool. Because maybe if you think, if I can do it, if this guy can do it, then maybe you can do it, and maybe it'll be worthwhile. I've got a book. I did a book called Push Stitchery that was a gallery book of embroidery and needlecraft that came out, I want to say, like 2012, and I'm really proud of that book. It's got 30 different artists from around the world, and is part of a really good series. There's a print one, a jewellery one, and a papercraft one. Beautiful books, really pleased with those. And then this year I've had the Mr. XStitch Guide to Cross Stitch that's come out, so that's my love song, if you like, to the world of cross stitch. Teaches you how to do it, but teaches you why you should do it, and has interviews with artists as well. And then recently I've launched XStitch, which is a magazine. Bear with me. XStitch, which is a magazine. It's a contemporary cross stitch magazine. It's a cross stitch magazine for the modern world, because I've been in the world of cross stitch for a long time. I've been waiting a long time for this kind of magazine to come out. So it has cool stuff in it. It has designs that are like modern and fresh. I can't really show you now. I'm going to do a floss tube video about it, so you'll be able to see it. If you've not heard of this magazine, if you're still watching this video now, maybe you need to buy this magazine. It's 10 quid cover price, delivered from my very office here, and a limited edition as well. There's an online version, but it's going to be a quarterly magazine, and each issue has different designs. We have 20 different designs from different designers, some of the best in the biz, some new people you may never have heard of before, and we've just got groovy things. It's a grown-up attitude to magazines, because don't get me wrong, I live in the countryside and I've got cats, but I don't feel I need to cross stitch them all the time. I want to do interesting things. I want to do things that reflect the modern world. So that's what XStitch is. It's like a change. It's game changing. It's changing the way that cross stitch magazines are. I'll go and do a whole video about this at some point, so you don't have to listen to me ranting right now. But yeah, basically that's me. I now do talks and workshops. I've done a TED talk. I do workshops with schools. I do presentations. It's my duty to promote the world of embroidery and needlecraft, because it's magnificent and it's ubiquitous and it's been done around the world for centuries, and I'm just proud to be a part of it. So that's me. I'm Mr. XStitch. Once upon a time I was just a normal guy, but now I'm the Kingpin of Contemporary Embroidery. It's a tough gig, I tell you. But no, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you're interested in finding out more about the world of embroidery and needlecraft, and you should, because it's amazing, subscribe to my channel, because I'm going for it. We're going to do reviews, we're going to do book reviews, we're going to do artist showcases. I'm going to do what I can to kind of use YouTube as a platform for promoting this work, in the same way as I have done on the other social media platforms. So subscribe now, let me know what you think in the comments, give the video a like. I appreciate all of that kind of stuff. I will see you soon. God love you. Happy stitching, everybody.